Family, friends, and colleagues pay tribute to Kevin Kamenetz today. He is being laid to rest right now, just a day after his death shocked the community. The Baltimore County executive died of a heart attack at 60 years old. Today, he was honored in a very personal and emotional service. After the service, a procession was held as the casket was taken to the final resting place. Chapel 13 was over the scene as they made their way to the Baltimore Hebrew Cemetery on Berryman's Lane in Reisterstown. WJZ has a team of reporters covering this story. First, here's WJZ investigator Mike Helgren with a look at today's funeral services. Mike.
Vic, Kevin Kamenetz's wife Jill said he would have loved this. All the cameras, the attention, the positive stories about his career accomplishments. She also got candid as a political spouse, talking about the past year being pretty rough.
I was always so proud to be able to say, my husband is Kevin Kamenetz. And I truly felt so happy and so proud to be your wife.
Kevin Kamenetz's wife Jill knows him better than anyone. And in the weeks before his death, she described how the campaign for governor was taking its toll.
We rarely saw each other. He was a little moody. He barely slept. He wasn't eating well. He was looking tired to me, I thought. And just last week, I said to him, Kevin, this campaign is killing you.
She was with her husband when he collapsed at a volunteer fire station in Owings Mills Thursday morning. Through the pain, she's also staying upbeat, remembering her husband with humor.
Kevin and I met on a blind date. I hated how he was dressed, but I knew that I could change that.
Their son Carson delivered a personal and moving tribute to his dad.
I owe every single aspect of my life to him. And although I rarely show the affection he deserves, I hope my dad knew how much he meant to me. I hope he died knowing that he was my role model. I hope he died knowing that I loved him endlessly.
Kamenetz spent a quarter century in public service, rising to lead the county where he was born and raised. To Carson, he was just dad.
He, although plagued with this busy schedule, was always there for me, always present when I needed him. And despite not being here now, he has left an inspiring impact on me and obviously others that nobody else could ever replicate.
Carson said he kept thinking that his dad was going to come through the doors of the Hebrew congregation. Sadly, that's not going to happen. So many others have reflected on what an unexpected loss this is. Live in Pikesville, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
So very true. Mike, thank you very much. Political reporter Pat Warren is live now with how the county executive's colleagues paid their respects. Pat?
Well, Vic, Maryland state and congressional leaders were here, including some of Kevin Kamenetz's closest rivals. Among those paying honor to County Executive Kevin Kamenetz, his Democratic primary opponents in the race for governor, Rashern Baker, Ben Jealous, Rich Madalino, and Krish Vignaraja.
I just saw him the night before he passed away and, just joke with him about both of us we're the same age. We've got busy counties and just how we needed rest. So it's a sad day for Maryland, a sad day for all of us.
I would look forward to time with him backstage. I would look forward to having him next to me. I would look forward to, in fact, I think he was probably a class clown back in the day like I was. And so he would always, he was always patient with my need to crack jokes, and he would always try to one-up me.
He was so vibrant. I mean, obviously you're involved in this incredibly difficult human experience, this competition, that it's so hard to believe someone's gone. It speaks to the fragility of life, that one day you're here and the next day you're gone, and the need to take time out to celebrate life.
I was with him on Wednesday night, and it was a late forum that we had at Bowie State, and we at the end of the night jokingly said to one another, well, see you as we go at this again tomorrow at UMBC. And it was heart-wrenching to come together last night at UMBC, where we had a kind of memorial ad hoc forum.
And Republican Pat McDonough, running for county executive, reminding us that politics, too, is community.
If you don't agree philosophically, it doesn't mean you can't be friends and love somebody, even though they don't agree with you or they have an opposite viewpoint. And that's the kind of relationship I had with him.
And that's just part of Kevin Kamenetz's legacy. Back to you.
Sure is, Pat. Thank you. Now let's turn to Rick Ritter live with more on the outpouring of support from the community. Rick?
Well, Mary, hundreds came out to say goodbye. Some who worked with Kamenetz, business owners, even complete strangers lined this procession, telling me it's just the right thing to do to be here today and pay their respects. I spoke with one man who said, Kamenetz stood by us for all of these years. Now it's our time to step up and be there for his family. A somber scene that's still surreal for all of Baltimore. One final goodbye to the man who served their county with pride and compassion.
His demeanor, his honesty, he was a well-respected man.
A show of solidarity outside the Baltimore Hebrew congregation brought chills with a hero-like send-off.
Being an elected public servant is a very honorable thing. It's just as honorable as serving in the military.
Hundreds showing up to pay their respects.
You're going to miss him terribly. I think we all are.
Many reflecting on the relationship with Kamenetz, fighting back tears. Abby Baton witnessed his passion for education firsthand.
He kept his promises to us. He pushed hard to make sure that schools were air conditioned.
A 60-year-old who was stepping into the highlight of his political career.
He really blossomed into a wonderful manager. Everybody knew that he cared.
Even complete strangers.
It just breaks your heart, especially for his two boys and his wife.
Standing along the procession to honor their county executive. And so even though you didn't know him, it was critical for you to be here today.
Yes, it was. That's why I felt that I must come and show my respect some kind of way.
A legacy of public service that will fuel Baltimore County for years to come. Everyone talking about his accomplishments today, what he did for education and for public schools, revitalizing the downtown Towson area, and then, of course, never raising taxes. Mary?
Rick, thank you. And stay with WJZ for much more on the sudden death of Kevin Kamenetz, his legacy, and the tributes in his honor.